Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to part 3 of the second series of the Qolsys introduction. As you can see, we're still decorating after moving home, so you can see what we've been up to during the weekend. So today is about alarm.com. We're going to give you an insight into the power of alarm.com and the reason why it is such a useful tool for you guys. What I would like to do just to start off is tell you that this is recorded. So we are recording today's session again, and it will be on YouTube tomorrow. The questions and chat section, if you find that in your toolbar towards the bottom, we encourage you to ask as many questions as possible and chats. Sorry. We want it to be an interactive session, so feel free to ask any. We've got Mark from alarm.com here. He's the sales manager for the UK and Ireland. And we've also got Paul Biggs, who is the technical manager for alarm.com as well. What I'd like to do is just start off the webinar with a quick poll. Are you currently a Qolsys customer? It'd be good to see whether you are or not. And I'm sure after today, giving you an insight into the alarm.com portal, I'm sure you will be at the end. So I will hand it over to Mark. Welcome, Mark. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Paul, and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. I'm going to turn my camera off to make sure you all get the images I want to show you. So thank you very much for your time. What I'm going to do is give you an overview of us as a company and how we work with you partners to help you increase your recurring revenue and get more and more customers to do business with you. First of all, we are all paying monthly for something or other nowadays, whether it's our mobile phone or what we watch on telly. So I don't think that I'm talking about something that's recurring revenue should be something that's scary. So please bear that in mind. What your customers are paying for at the moment, typically, there's the 2 items on the left, as you can see. And we're saying, well, if you add alarm.com, you're going to add 4 more, and more than 4, but 4 main extra features to that. And the biggest one there really is the interconnectivity and the smart home life. And I'll tell you more about that as we go through. So alarm.com, a little bit about us. A couple of guys in the US in the late 90s were trying to work out how to get signals from domestic alarms to the homeowners, and they started with paging. At the same time, somebody else bought the name alarm.com off the shelf, and the people got together, and in 2000 we were founded by 3 people, not those 3 people, but we were founded by 3 people, and here we are now in 2021. There are 1,500 plus staff, mainly US based. The international team, of which Paul and I are part of, I think we're approaching mid-70s now. We are obviously dotted around the UK and Europe. We're in 45 countries now with over 8.5 million connected properties around the world. Everything we do is very, very simple. It's easy to enter. It's easy for you to register with us, and it's easy for your clients to register with you. And it's there is no license. There is nothing that ties you in, but we can discuss that further as and when. If you look at the wagon wheel on the left, you can see at the top, we started there with security back in 2000. And as we progressed, we've gone round the wagon wheel in both directions, I would say, i.e. we've met at the bottom in between wellness and energy management. But we've added all these features that are now part and parcel of a standard, or what will be standard, home domestic security system. and commercial systems as well. Just an idea of where we are at the moment. This slide is a couple of years old, so some of these light oranges will be dark orange now, and there'll be other light oranges around. And as you can see at the bottom, we do work with global partners, recognizable brands. So the way we work, the way we make this all come together is by working with JCI. You can see there the new Qolsys panel in the middle left of this slide. We work with the manufacturers. The control panel is manufactured by them, but with our firmware on board. If you look at the left-hand slide of the side, you've got the wagon wheel again. So that is your security smart home system. All your security devices will come with your panel from your panel manufacturer. And everything in the house is going to be talking via the control panel to us on our Network Operations Center, or NOC, as it's been abbreviated to, via cellular and via IP. The one caveat to that is that any video devices will bypass the panel and just talk with us over the client's IP. And again, we then translate the information we receive, we send it on towards you, the partner, for your view of the client system, and also the client and to their mobile app and to their user interface so they can see what's happening. Equally, if you need to connect the system to an ARC, we will push the signals out to an ARC very, very simply. If we convert that into the commercial picture, on the bottom of the triangle, at bottom left, we've got JCI and the Qolsys panel. Bottom right, we've got alarm.com. In the middle, we've got you, the installers, our partners, and at the top of the triangle, your customers. And they are your customers. And I think it's important to read these lines on the left-hand side. You have full control. You sell whatever you want to them at whatever rate you want to. We're here to support you, and ultimately we'll support them. But if you look at the bottom right, we definitely don't really want to talk to the customers. We will if we need to, but that would be on your request. Otherwise, they are your customers and they remain that way. There's just a contract between you and them, and then there's us in the background supporting you. We have a monthly service fee for that, of course, hence me mentioning the monthly fees at the beginning of the presentation. The prices you can see on the screen now are indicative and they're American. First thing to point out is there is no activation fee. That is an American feature. But we have an agreement with you. You can put one customer on us or 200,000 customers on us, and they're only on us on a 30-day notice period. As I said, there is no license. So as you add a customer, we'll bill you for the upcoming month, and then the following month we'll do exactly the same for 1 or 20 or 200,000 customers you've got on board. You need to cancel one, you can. You need to cancel all of them, you can. It's just 30 days notice. And again, you choose the tiers. Now, over and above the JCI hardware, the cameras do need to come with our firmware on board. We don't necessarily make them. They are available through distribution or from us, from our Taiwan distribution center, but they're available in UK through distribution. We have a large range, and here is some of them. The reason they need to come via us is the firmware. It's the security that's on board. It's the analytics. We don't want men in France watching hundreds of English people in their gardens or in their houses from the man in France garden. Our cameras are end-to-end encrypted. There is no hacking into these devices. We are producing, and you saw on the cameras there, our own doorbell at the moment. The current doorbell is end-to-end already. This is the new doorbell. I just thought I'd show it to you. It's some nice images. You can see that this is coming with analytics on it, 150-degree angle lens, so you can see the parcels on the floor, etc. Why do people work with us? Well, what I didn't mention when I said there are 1,500 people is that 80% of those people are technical, and I mean properly technical, not like you or I, and forgive me if some of you are super technical, who know about control panels and how they work. But these are our software engineers, our R&D team, the developers who put the whole platform together, the portal, and it is constantly evolving and being updated, and it is there for you. So that bit of iceberg below the water is those 80%. We have our dealer portal. As I said, you are totally in control of this. It's your portal. You can create accounts, you can create the packages you want as and when you want. You have full control over that. We have a lot of features on there for you to help and assist you. Things we're doing in the background for you here that all come as part of what we offer. No additional fees, as I was talking to somebody earlier. These are there for you. They're part of the portal. And if you've got a customer on us, whether it's 1 or 200, you'll have access to most of these. There are, of course, some things that are higher level and are chargeable, but there's more than enough here. So you can see we're going to enable you to have your own logo on the app, so the customers aren't going to see alarm.com very often. If they do, they might see it at the bottom of the screen here, powered by alarm.com, but nothing more. We're creating business intelligence in the background for you, which will allow you to see how you're working with your customers, how your engineers are installing. I'll tell you more in a minute. We've got our servers, as you can see here, just an overview of the 2 NOCs over in America. We've got our video streaming Azure servers, one over in the Netherlands and one down in Australia. We are 5.9 failover. The customer user interface, very interactive, very, very full on. It gives the customer full control of their alarm system, their smart devices, their cameras, and more. They are able to do anything they want pretty much with their system from the mobile app. Again, this is all part and parcel of what we offer you. If we look at the dealer portal, you can see here, as I said, and sorry, this is a repeat slide, I think, but you can see the same thing again. I'll move on to that. Don't know what happened there, guys. I am sorry. I'll look into that. Another thing we offer you is this mobile sales app. You can download it to your tablets or your mobile phones. You don't get the nice moving finger, but you certainly get this interface to demonstrate to your potential customers how the system will work, how they can control it, what they can do with it, how they can zoom into cameras and switch lights on, and so on. I'll just let that carry on there. So you can see the control you have, and you can pinch to zoom on all of our cameras from your mobile app. As far as you, the partners, go, the portal is there for you in your offices, on your machines, but we have a slimmed down version of it called Mobile Tech, which you can all download to your devices. And this enables your engineers to be out on site to install from their mobile device, and everything correlates with the portal virtually instantly. So it is all going to come seamlessly together all of the time. We give you support in terms of the knowledge base, where you'll find answers to pretty much any question on any product that we support or anything that we provide in our platform. We have a core team that's actually is over 175 now, that I know. Majority of those are based in Minneapolis in America. It's 24/7. They are instructed to, when they are taking a call, to make notes. They then have to cross-reference it. If it's something that's not on the knowledge base, it will be the following Monday when we do our weekly build release on the platform. And it's worth pointing out that we now have a support team in Europe as well, so we have that full 24-hour coverage. The knowledge base I mentioned, it's not the right panel, but there you are. If you put in DSC, you're going to find exactly what you need about the panel. If you put in IQ2, you'll get the full instructions here on how to install it, which are from JCI, but nonetheless, they're there for you. So anything you could ever want, be it one of our cameras, as you can see on the left, or the control panel, you will find it in the knowledge base. I mentioned the business intelligence for you. This really is about getting you to keep your customers. They're paying a monthly fee. They've got to like what they're paying for, like we like our mobile phones. We have some best practices we recommend you get your installers to do. There are 6 of them. And we've done a study over a period of 4 years. If you get these 6 best practices adhered to, and they're all simple, and most of them happen naturally anyway, because that's the way you're going to get them on your partner portal. Over a period of 4 years, you retain 90% of your customers. If you don't get these 6 adhered to, over a period of 4 years, you only retain 40% of your customers. So they're very simple, very effective, and we're helping you monitor them for yourselves. And remember that 30-day part of what we offer. In other words, you can cancel customers at any time on 30 days. That's a big risk if you think about it. So we are doing all we can all day, every day to make sure you keep your customers, because if your customers are paying you, you're paying us. So as a summary, we are the largest platform on the planet. You can see our head office is there. We've got the best on the market. I don't think anybody will catch us for at least 20 years. And if they do, they'll be 20 years behind, because we'll be another 20 years on. I didn't see any questions come up, Paul's, I should say. I don't know if any did.
Yes, there is a quick question that we have received. That is from Paula. Is the Alarm.com wellness feature and the Wellcam available in the UK?
So yes, it is available, and I've been checking on this recently. It's here. You can sell it and you can use the name Wellness, but there is one very, very big caveat. It cannot be sold into residential care homes or hospital. It is for domestic use only. Anything else would be completely against GDPR compliance.
Okay, that's good. We don't have any other questions at the moment. Either you did a fantastic job,
or went too fast
to ask questions. Richard, do the cameras have a tripwire function? Yes, they do, don't they, Mark?
They have either a tripwire function or a ground zone, which the customer can set themselves once, or edit themselves once the system's been installed. Paul B, do you want to add anything to that?
I think you've covered it. Yeah, tripwires in either direction or both, or as Mark says, a ground zone that you can define as an area of interest. So yeah, both of those are available.
And one other thing to add to that, you could have as many, let's say 8 different settings for one camera, as long as they don't conflict with each other. So you could have a tripwire inwards across the drive between 8 and 9 in the morning, and then outwards between 9 and 10 from the same camera. You can mix and match what you do.
And just on that, Richard, to answer your question as well, is if you want to actually see it, then our technical account manager, Jason Upton, he has that set up on his demo system. So if you want to see that working, Jason can also go through that with you as well. I think Louis Ko from Japan wants to know who we can talk to in Japan. So I will find that out, Louis, and point you in the right direction. Richard, a different Richard this time. Is it available in the South African market? And on what alarm panels? Well, it's on Qolsys to start with, Richard. Is Alarm.com available, Mark, readily available in South Africa?
Yes, it is. We have a colleague over in the Netherlands who looks after that. So any details, if they come via you to me, I can put them in touch.
And what I would say, Richard, is if you want to know more about the Qolsys, Julian is from a GSEI perspective, you can reach out to him. He'll also probably be sending you an email after this as well to make sure that you're fully introduced to Qolsys. Does anyone have any other questions about the portal or what it offers, smart home devices? feel free to ask away. Richard, do monthly costs escalate with more products added? Yes, Richard, they do. Mark, do you want to give a rough indication of how they potentially escalate?
Escalate is not a word I would use. We'll give you the opportunity to provide your customers with a number of packages, and they start, and Paul AIM won't be aware of this yet because we're just rolling it out, but essentially we can start with just a security system, which would probably just be interactive. In other words, we would give the customer, or you would give your customer, the ability to control their system via their mobile device. If we gave them interactive and automation, which I would imagine you would in most cases, so they can get their Z-Wave devices working, there's a fee for that. The bit that's new is we now allow you to let your customer have a 1-camera package or a 2-camera package, or a 4-camera and then 8 and 12 and 16 camera package, video with analytics. So that's absolutely up to you. So as I say, escalate is the wrong word. There is a potential as well, for you guys to get your foot in the door of a doorbell only package now, and a video only package. It may be that some of your customers have got an old control panel that they don't want to change yet, but they've asked you about cameras. Don't ever think that you can't upgrade them at some stage. I know Paul, or maybe Jason's the man to answer this question, but JCI are coming out with a module soon to allow you to upgrade old hardwired systems to talk to the Qolsys. So there's a way in there, and if you've already got a camera in there, I think that's just going to be another way to help you get in.
And that is now released, Mark. So the wired to wireless module is what Mark is talking about. Basically, it's got inputs and outputs, and you can have up to 8 zones on it. So for a legacy takeover, maybe of something like an old Optima or a center panel, you can actually keep those hardwired zones in place, replace the panel with our wired to wireless module, and it communicates those zones wirelessly to Qolsys. Then you could potentially upsell the customer some smart home devices, maybe a doorbell, maybe a camera, and so on. So you start to change an old 1970s installation into something of the future. So that is available. We've got another couple of questions coming in. Is there any marketing info on the video doorbell and video only package?
I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean by marketing input?
Info. So
Info, yes.
We've got a marketing portal that they can obviously get all the information from.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best way forward, if you look on YouTube, you'll find lots of info on us and on Qolsys, of course. But if you can talk with your JCI rep directly via Paul or direct to the rep, they'll get you to sign an NDA, which is just a simple non-disclosure agreement, and I can start sharing more with you in terms of costs. We can get you a demo portal as well, so you can have a look for yourselves and play with it, and literature. But if there is an individual request at the moment for doorbell, Paul, if you just let me have the details, I can send something over later on.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. Richard, do you think the wellness package has a market in the UK? And if so, how to sell it?
Yes.
Because of your earlier comment with it not being able to go into care homes and so on with GDPR. So maybe that's the reason for the question. But if you have some ideas, Mark, that might be very helpful for everyone on the call.
Well, we have a partner, as an example, who have sold one of the 622 cameras, the wellness camera, which has two-way speech on it and a call button on the top of it. He has sold a system to a customer, and the customer has installed one of those cameras in his parents' house. So it's opened up a two-way communications between him and his parents over the IP, which obviously doesn't cost anything once it's installed. But equally, it gives his parents a chance to press the button if they are in need of something, and the call will go straight to the mobile device of the son, or the son and the wife, or all the children, whichever mobile device that's registered with the system. It will call all of them or one of them. So it does have a certain market place, but to be very clear, the reason that the GDPR compliance is an issue when it comes into commercial premises is the father, I'll get it right in a minute, the son and daughter could at any time via the app look into mum or dad's house and see live images from the camera.
Yeah, I think that's a great tool. The wellness camera is really good, obviously with the 180-degree field of view and with the talk button. I definitely feel it could be used to protect, maybe people who live alone, assisted living, maybe, that sort of thing. But that's definitely something that it could be utilised for. We do have another question.
Well, just to add to that, Paul, sorry to interrupt, and I think Paul B was going to say something, in case I've said something wrong, but the majority of our internal cameras have two-way audio as well. And a big thing in the US is some people like to have a chat with their dog sitting at home whilst they're at work, having, in their office having lunch. So that's another value. But Paul, you were going to talk, sorry.
Yeah, really, I was going to just suggest that the aging at home topic is growing and growing in the UK. More and more people want to stay in their homes, late into life, especially if they're on their own. They're looking for some kind of assurance that if they had a fall, or if they, were bedridden at night, that there'd be some system that would be tracking. No, tracking is the wrong word. There'd be some system that would be seeing that, and perhaps they have children, adult children, obviously, who are going to be able to see that information in a non-intrusive way, and at least check up on mum, dad, whatever, grandma, granddad, in a non-intrusive way. So I think care homes is one area for sure, and the GDPR issues are something we're trying to still work through. But I think individual aging at home requirements are certainly a very strong opportunity as well. Just my personal view.
Yeah, and I think, sorry, I don't know if you're going to add something else, but I was just going to say that, we are seeing a lot of calls for elderly people to utilise Qolsys as well because of its ease of use. With its 7-inch HD touchscreen, they're not having to mess about and fumble. It's just simply swiping and touching, but the buttons are big, it's clear, and more simplistic for the elderly to see. So we've seen that. One of our customers installed one for a 90-year-old last week. So, and he absolutely, him and his wife love it. So it's a great tool. We've got another question as well. 1 second. We've got a few coming in now, so it's pushed it down. Are there any?
Well, whilst you're looking for that question, one thing to add is the customers, I would say, are best placed always to use our app to use their system, but they don't have to. Once it's set up, they could just log into it on their user interface via their PC at home. But as an example, if they've got a doorbell, that can interface with the Qolsys panel, and if the panel's sitting on the table in the living room next to them, they can answer their door from the comfort of their armchair, and still set their alarm system from that panel when they're leaving.
Yeah, and that's it. And obviously with the alarm.com portal, you can integrate locks as well.
Absolutely.
So the thing with that is, if an elderly person is sat in the chair and they have the Qolsys beside them, the video doorbell would ring. They can obviously answer it and see who it is. If it's the carer, it's the daughter, or so on, they can let them in and they can unlock the door. If they choose that it's obviously a nuisance caller, they know that they're very safe because they have control of the lock as well. So You know, something when you start to utilize it more and you think of different scenarios, you can really give people the peace of mind and, you know, quality of life, like Qolsys says. That's what it's all about. Another question we've had is, any plans to add marketing content to the portal that is adapted to local markets rather than purely the US?
We're trying to Europeanize that, and there is some in there. I appreciate a lot of it is US biased, but if you dig around, and this sounds like somebody who's obviously got access to the portal, it is in there. And if you have got access to the portal, then you'll know my email address when it's on the screen, but contact me and I can also dig out what more European stuff we have.
Yeah, and that goes the same for Qolsys. We do have a UK website for Qolsys, uk.qolsys.com, where we have started to cater more for the needs of the UK market rather than the US. But again, if there is specific things that you want us to do with the Qolsys material for you, put your logo on it and that sort of things, we can do that for you. We do have a comment, and I don't know whether you'd be able to answer this, Paul Biggs. There are some telephone number fields in the alarm.com dealer portal that only accept US format telephone numbers. So I'm not there with that.
Okay, so when you have an initial demo account, an NC account, no charge account, it's typically still left as US based. As soon as you complete the dealer agreement, then your account is fully localized to whichever region and country you're in. So that would be, assuming you're in the UK, that would be fully UK compliant. So numbers, postcodes, telephone numbers, and so on. So yeah, fully localized.
Okay, superb. Andrew has asked a question, was the Wi-Fi 2 gig only? If so, is 5 gigahertz planned? I don't know if that's in relation to the connection of alarm.com devices via Wi-Fi.
Does the question relate to the panel?
That's what I'm just asking now.
Yeah.
Devices. We'll come back to that question in a moment. Question regarding gate entry system. Someone's put, David, I don't know if you want to expand on that a little bit more. I'm wondering if he's got to utilize Qolsys with a gate entry system. So maybe we'll wait on that one at the minute. No more questions at the moment. Feel free to ask away, anybody. Obviously, just give it 2 minutes. Obviously, just while we're waiting for questions to come in, next week we've got webinar number 4, and that will be going over the Qolsys marketing portal. So we'll be going through, obviously, online training, how we can customize things, how to help you build your website for more interactivity with customers and generate more links and clicks. So if you join us next week, that's what we will be going through. So Graham has expanded on the gates, I believe. Nice, do a Z-Wave product that might integrate with gates. I guess there's nothing that we have at the moment in way of a gate integration for the alarm.com platform, is there?
Paul, I'll let you answer that. From my memory, Paul, I'm going to let you answer. Much simpler.
So right now, today, we don't have a dedicated device for gate control. And we're looking at using some of the relays that we have that may be able to do that. But if you have a specific Z-Wave device that you think would satisfy that need, then we'd be very happy to work to integrate that onto the platform. We tend to take devices from dealers who want those kind of things, and we test them on our platform and then we make them available to be used on the platform. So yeah, we'd be more than happy to work with you if you've got a particular device you want to add.
Yeah, and you've added a few devices recently, haven't you? So, you know, it's
Yeah, we're constantly adding devices. I mean, yeah, literally constantly.
that's good stuff. We were asked a question about, do we have a Qolsys alarm.com installer forum? At the moment, we do have a WhatsApp group for Qolsys. We've only just started it, but we do have a WhatsApp group if you're going to move forward with Qolsys. But I suppose potentially we could set up a Facebook group for Qolsys if needs be. Okay. I think that is all the questions at this moment in time. So what I'd like to do is I will just finish with one quick question for you. And that is, based on today's webinar, how likely would you be to try the IQ panel? You know, we've obviously given you a bit of an overview of the power of alarm.com and things that it can do. If you would like to know more, then you can reach out to any of my team in relation to Qolsys, and Jason Upton, he is also very familiar with the alarm.com portal. Alternative to that, you know, Mark supports the UK and Ireland for alarm.com from a sales perspective, and Paul Biggs from a technical perspective as well. So, you know, you've got a lot of support available. Any questions, feel free to ask us at any time. We all work together. So just let us know what we can do to assist you further. And we look forward to you joining us next week. Thank you for joining, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.